Namaste to everyone. I am Marijoy G. Bacastot, the group leader of Ignatian Circle 2 of ACA4. The Ignatian values and principles that are assigned to us are contemplative in action and non-multa sed multum. For further understanding, watch the creative video of Group 2 up until the end.
Contemplative in action. How do we understand the value of being contemplative in action? We understand it as spending time in self-reflection and discernment to look within and make sense of our experiences. It means that we look back on our personal experiences and reflect on how God has been with us through our journey in life. To do that, we can follow the steps: stop, reflect, go back, and then repeat the same process. We stop by making a pause in our daily lives like work and school. We then reflect on it by asking ourselves, how was our experiences? How did it affect us? How is our spirit? We can also do this by doing our daily examine. Once we have reflected, we can now go back to our daily lives with a refreshed mind and soul, which can then help us be more productive. By repeating this process, we can then consider ourselves as being contemplative in action.
When I am stressed, tired, and on the verge of breaking down, I always tell myself to stop and pause for a while in order to let everything sink in. For me, resting entails talking with my family and reflecting on my day. This allows me to relax my mind and allows me to halt and acknowledge what I've been up to, whether at work or at home. It not only provides much needed rest, but also allows me to reflect on myself. After which, I return to my work with a fresh outlook and a positive mood. I will be able to complete my assignment without feeling stressed because I'd already gotten my rest and reflection of the day. The cycle then repeats itself.
Today is a very busy day for me. Come to think of it, have I done my daily reflection for today? Shoot, I almost forgot. Contemplative in action is what allows me to have time to stop and reflect on what I've been doing, whether in work or personal life. As a member of my family, it allows me to discover more on how to strengthen my relationship with my family. As a student, it gives me a rest time to pause so that I can start to study again and continue doing it with zeal. As a member of a society, being contemplative in action means that my active life feeds my contemplative life and my contemplative life feeds my active life. To allocate a time to stop, rest, and reflect saves us from doing mindless actions. It gives us time to inform how to approach our work when we return to it. Maybe you will realize that what you've been doing is doing it for the sake of doing it, rather than for God and common good.
Non multa sed multum. This Latin phrase means not many but much. Essentially, it is more likely to place value on the quality rather than quantity. We must concentrate on the few things that are truly essential than the many things that are meaningless and empty. Some may argue that the more the merrier, but we must always remember that what we can gain if we memorize 100 of prayers but lack sincerity and value. What's the point of memorizing the book from cover to cover if you don't understand anything? And what's the point of donating 100 million or volunteering in numerous charities if you don't do it wholeheartedly? We must look deeply on why we do such things rather than be satisfied with numbers and the idea that we do a lot. Again, it is not the quantity but depth that satisfy the heart and soul, knowing that we do such little things with great love. This phrase reminds us of the reality that we cannot do everything in the world. Thus, do much in the areas that are most important to you.
I was going to use the computer to play some games when I realized that the date looked very familiar to me. It was my mom's birthday. I almost forgot it. Thankfully, I had enough time to look over online and look for things she might probably love. When I looked over online, all of these things were very expensive. I tried to calculate it and then they were all expensive. So I checked my wallet for money in case I had enough. Unfortunately, I didn't. I was very worried that I wouldn't be able to buy her anything as a gift for her birthday. And then, when I was running out of time, I was very disappointed and frustrated with myself. I thought about texting her instead, since she loves words of affirmation. And then, although it is not many, it might be, just might be much. So I texted her my message 12 a.m. And then, gladly enough, she appreciated it.
We can apply non-multa sed multum in our daily lives. Let's have this scenario. When I'm getting ready for school, I notice there's a money in my table. It says that it's a reward for me for becoming part of the dean's list. Of course, I'm very happy. So since I'm planning to buy new clothes, I search first at Shopee. But when I look at the reviews, most of them are bad. So I've opted to another option, which is to go to my favorite store. As I searched through the store, I found a similar one. However, the price is quite expensive. So what will I choose? I called my sister and she said to choose the expensive one because although you only purchase one item, you are sure that you can use it for a longer period of time. Non-multa sed multum is choosing the best quality over quantity. So what's the use of having many clothes when it is only intended for a single use? Having this kind of mindset does not only saves us from the deeper aspects of our lives, but also to the simple ones, like how we be able to manage our finances effectively.
That's it. May you learn a thing or two from our discussion. Always remember to
Manifest and say yes.
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 manifest and say yes
To
Contemplative
contemplative
action
action,
and
non-multa
non-multa
sed
sed
multum.
multum.